What's up, everybody? Excuse the noise, a little bit loud. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but as you can see, it's been a big year, busy summer. I honestly can't remember the last video I made. This will be done here in just a second, and it'll quiet down a little bit, and you'll hear me a little bit better, but it's just been super busy. I guess the last video I made was probably the RZR chassis video back in the spring. Honestly, I don't know when that was, but it's been a while. Just finished up. As you can see, we've had a few new additions to the shop. Behind me is a new Haas mill. I say new, I've had it since May. But this is the main addition to our shop. I say our shop, it's mine and my wife's, but yeah, we've kind of changed our direction. We're still doing powder coating, but like I said, there's been a lot of changes. Doing a lot of machining now. Basically a small startup job shop. This is kind of the direction I wanted to go from the beginning, but basically earning the money to afford a machine like this took me a little while, so I'm slowly getting there, hoping to soon add a few more. But anyway, back to the real reason for this video. Just kind of wanted to do an update for you guys. I know it's been a while. Haven't put a video on YouTube in, it's been several months. A lot of guys have been asking for updates on the chassis build, you know, how the RZR's doing, which it's back here. Here in a second, I'll give you guys a walk around of the shop and kind of what's changed, what's new, and what's going on. But first of all, bad news for the guys asking about the chassis. I did sell that. It was kind of short-lived. I had big plans to build a chassis, but that kind of got put on the back burner when this all came about, and then the world decided to give everybody a swift kick in the you-know-what. But things have been good. Like I said, I ordered this machine in it's probably late February, early March, when the coronavirus was just getting started. I really probably wasn't the best decision in the world, but turned out pretty good. Stayed pretty busy all summer long with it. Right now, as you can see, for those of you who aren't familiar with machining, basically, solid chunk of billet aluminum is what I'm worked with so far. I've done some stainless, got some stainless here, making a lot of cool parts for people. Right now, this piece of aluminum here, 6-inch round, is getting turned into basically a spacer for a leveling kit. I've got a friend of mine that has a shop here local, West Kentucky, that does lifts, level kits, wheels, tires, anything. He's been getting a lot of stuff from China, and we're taking some of that stuff and basically making it his own, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Just basically a job shop. You want something created, machined, we'll make it happen. We'll do whatever we can to bring it to life, but right now, doing a small batch of leveling kit spacers for my buddy at Pro Installs. Doing a small batch, but anyway, so doing that. The Haas machine, we got a Haas VF2. It is a pretty substantial vertical milling machine, 3 axis. Definitely more than what I wanted to bite off in the beginning, but Haas was running some really sweet deals on new machines at the beginning of all this COVID mess, and I took advantage of what I thought was a good deal and jumped on a new machine, and I am nothing but happy with my purchase. Again, it's above and beyond what I expected. I know it's not the best and most expensive, but there's a lot of guys out there that, you know, run Haas's and love them, and there's a lot of guys that don't like them, which everybody has their opinions, which they're entitled to. But for me, a first machine, it's more than enough for what I'm doing. It's super, super accurate. Tooling, I've learned a lot about tooling. I'm basically teaching myself machining and stuff. So that's been fun, and I hope to learn a lot. It's going to be a process, and I hope that I can get a lot more business and a lot more jobs, and a few more machines in here at some point. But we've also got, I bought a manual lathe over here. I'll show you guys that in a second. Automatic bandsaw. All these are, you know, not new machines, but I found pretty good deals on them. Had to jump on them. Probably a couple, like the saw needs a few little odds and ends fixed on it. The lathe is an older South Bend manual lathe that's it's in really good shape, but it's definitely seen some use. Gonna fix that up. You know, it runs great right now, but probably eventually sell these pieces of equipment, upgrade in the future. Still got the plasma table. Of course, powder coating setup still back here. I don't know what I'm going to do about it yet. I'm still doing powder coating, but hopefully in the future we can get more machines in here, start turning out a lot of parts. Got a lot of plans for some lines of parts that I've got. I've actually prototyped a few parts for my razor that I will be producing and selling. Some billet radius rods starting off, which I have. The razor's nasty right now. I'll show you in a minute. It's took it to Windrock a couple weekends ago, beat the ever-living crap out of it, and basically tested the radius rods, and they performed flawlessly. No issues whatsoever. I mean, there's a few companies out there that make billet radius rods, a lot of good names. I'm just trying to get my name out there and make some cool parts. I've got a lot of plans, radius rods, miscellaneous parts, fabrication parts, basically anything involved with anything. I'm not limiting myself to one field. I want to kind of basically be a job shop to where you bring me your ideas, we bring it to life. Doing a little bit of fabrication. I've got a couple cages coming up. I've got a couple of really cool things I'm going to do to the razor. Still got the extended cab, still rocking it. I did put portals on it back in the spring. Did not document that in video. Just I've got a few issues that I'll show you here in a second that I've got to fix. Got some parts over here that I'm going to modify to make better. Had a few issues with the some bracketry that hold the calipers on the portals for the razor. There's some pins that basically are pressed into a plate, and those pins get loose, the pins come out, brake pads drop out of the caliper, and then your caliper is clamping onto your rotor, which I've got a brand new rotor. I've damaged a rotor so bad that I have to replace it. So we were in and also that one's a different story, but in Windrock, I had a front caliper drop a pad. It's the second one that did that. Same thing, pins backed out. So had one drop a pad, the brakes go to the floor. If you're in a bad situation, it's not the most fun thing. But luckily, we were able to tie the brake caliper up out of the way and keep riding. Just had three wheels with stopping power, but made it work. Not ideal, but you got to do what you can do when you're on the trail and 20 miles from the truck. But thanks to my buddies that I was riding with to help me fix that, and hopefully we can modify these new brackets that I got to where the pins don't come out. Hopefully I'll show you guys a video coming up on how I'm going to do that, and just kind of keep you guys updated on what's going on. I know I say that most every video, but this time I really plan on putting out some content and doing some really cool stuff. Like I said, a lot of things coming for the razor. I've got a lot of ideas. We got a ride the end of this month on Thanksgiving weekend, RBD. Those of you who don't know what RBD is, just Look it up on Facebook. It is one of the best rides in the, it's in northern Alabama. I want to say Midwest, but northern Alabama. If you're anywhere within 4 or 5, 6 hours of there, it's definitely worth the trip. Basically, it's a long weekend after Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, come home Sunday. It is a huge, huge deal. Hawk Pride is the location, and the event is RVD. I think last year there was almost 1,000 registered people at the event. Just everybody in razors, trucks, anything four-wheel drive that's you're willing to beat on and trail ride and just have a good time with a bunch of friends. It's worth the trip. Anyway, check that out, RVD. But anyway, I'm gonna pull the camera off of the tripod and walk you guys around the shop and kind of show you some other things besides the mill, which is the main thing that I'm super pumped about. Hope to have a few more coming up, but anyway, but I'll show you guys around. All right, so basically the mill is here in the corner, but we have the Kalamazoo saw. It is an automatic, fully automatic bandsaw. Super, super handy. The first few jobs I did with the mill, I had to make a few hundred parts, which is really, in machinist terms, is not really that many. Job shops, it's not really that many, but for me, starting off, it was. I had to use a manual bandsaw starting off, so basically cut, reset, measure, cut, reset, measure, cut, reset, measure. Hundreds of times. Basically very, very time consuming. Have my wife out here helping me. She's a big help. So, but anyway, found this saw. Basically, you set your length, set the number of parts you want, and you let it press start, and it cuts until it counts down and stops. Super, super cool. It's an older saw, but got it temporary wired up right now. I'm running permanent electrical, that and the lathe. I haven't had these very long, but like I said, this is definitely a time saver. Set your number of cuts, press the button, walk away. Huge, huge deal. Got some 6-inch stock in there right now that I'm cutting. I'll cut to a quick video showing you guys basically the cut, reset, and cut. It's super, super handy. So that was basically the saw cutting. Like I said, super handy, big time saver. So, and here's our South Bend lathe. It's 13-inch South Bend lathe. It's super, super handy. You got a 4-jaw chuck. If anybody knows where a 3-jaw chuck is for this lathe, message me in the comments and let me know. But I can get a brand new chuck, but I'd like to have, you know, kind of an original 3-jaw for it. But anyway, it's a super, super good lathe so far. I haven't had any issues. As you can see, I've got some stainless in there that put a heck of a finish on. Just an old stainless bolt that I've messed with, playing with speeds and feeds, and had to buy some tooling for it, and a chuck, and live center, and a lot of other little things to get it going. Didn't come with any tools, but kind of got a workstation over here for the mill, computer. I'm running Fusion 360 for the parts. Got some personal goodies for myself that I'm milling and engraving on. A little pew-pew action. Still got the plasma table. Not doing so many jobs on it. Still doing quite a few, cutting some signs here and there. I've got about 3 pieces that I got to design in the next few days and cut. Might show some videos on that. Like I said, there's the dirt bike and the RZR. I'll show that in a second. But anyway, this is kind of the overview of the shop. 2-post lift, sandblast cabinet. I hate sandblast cabinets. They're nothing but trouble, always issues. Kind of been practicing some welding. I'm not the most proficient at TIG welding aluminum. I can TIG stainless and steel and MIG and MIG weld, but I've been trying to teach myself how to TIG weld aluminum, which I'm getting better at. Not a professional by no means, but anyway. There's powder coat oven. Got the lights off back there, but powder coat oven, forklift, and booth. Anyway, that's a tote that I put all my aluminum shavings in to take to recycler. And you get nothing for them. It's kind of ridiculous. You take off 250, 300 pounds of aluminum and you get 20 bucks. Not really worth it, but gotta do something. Anyway, dirt bike. Hope to get it out soon. My wife's got a little CRF 150 in the other garage that she rides, and just haven't had much time to ride this year. Hopefully this fall/winter we get some good weather and we can ride. But it's pretty much a bone stock. It's 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017 KTM XC or 300 XC. It's a very, very good bike. I put tubeless in it, front and rear, skid plates, basically rejected the carburetor, and I've rode the crap out of it. I just haven't rode it lately. But anyway, RZR sitting there. She's dirty, super, super dirty, but actually not super, super dirty. She's not bad. Windrock's just kind of a weird, like, wet sandy mud. But anyway, it hadn't changed much other than the 4-inch portals. And as you can see, 4-inch portals, 4-inch portals, and 35-inch Rockzillas. It's what I'm running now. She's wide, super, super wide. About ripped my arm off at Windrock, hit a rock, and yanked the steering wheel out of my hand. That's the kind of the weak point now is the steering. I still love it, great machine, but steering's lacking. Hopefully we'll have a fix for that soon. I'll talk more about that here in a second. But after I ride at the end of this month, I'm gonna do some changes to the cage. Basically gonna do a bed delete, rework the cage from the back, I guess C-pillar back, do a bed delete, change the front bumper, do a tie-in front bumper, sandblast it all. I got to fix my light bar where I rolled it in Moab. I did roll it in Moab first night. See, I got a crooked light bar. I didn't really roll it. I basically flipped end over end. I literally stood it up on the rear end in Mickey's hot tub and ended up on the roof first night. I'll show you guys a picture of that. But anyway, that was kind of a good way to start our Moab trip. But luckily, cage held up, didn't hurt it, didn't really bend anything other than the light bar tab. And I've kind of run it like that for a while. It's kind of a good story piece. But gonna do a tie-in bumper on both sides and re-powder coat everything. May even rework the doors, but who knows. Anyway, here's one of the brackets that I'm fixing to modify for the portals. As you can see, this is one of the old ones, and that pin is bent in that one, and that one's missing. Those pins press in to those plates, and that's what basically locates and holds the caliper and brake pad onto the hub or the portal now. But those pins on these holes, while they're out, the pins get loose and the pins come loose. So when the pins come loose, basically the caliper wiggles and the pads come out. And when the pads come out, you basically have a huge air gap and you lose brakes for a second. Kind of scary, sucks pretty bad. But anyway, what we're going to do is I got 4 new brackets with brand new from Super ATV, super good to deal with warranty wise. I'm going to take, and you can see that pin. The pin's got a lot of wiggle to it. Oh, and it fell out with hardly any work. That's supposed to stay in there, but anyway, new ones, the pins are in there. I want to do a couple small tack welds on the back side to hold the pins in. Hopefully that'll fix my issue. And we'll go around to the back here, and I'll show you my radius rods that I have made and designed and made. And tested and are fixing to sell. Harris Metal Works is our company. I'm going to be a vendor on RZR Life Facebook page, coming soon once I get some made. But anyway, they are solid billet 6061, fully machined from solid bar stock. They are 1 inch thick, and I'm actually going to make them about a 1/4 inch taller overall. I'm gonna add some, I just like the, I don't know, they're plenty beefy, but I just like a little bit more girth, a little bit more width here to look a little bit beefier. So I'm gonna make some changes. They'll have a logo engraved in them, can powder coat them, can, you know, basically do whatever you want. If you want a custom, I'll have my logo here, Harris Metal Works logo here, and then up here, if you want, you can, you know, you can add your own little specialty. I can take some of these reliefs out and add, you can put lettering or whatever. But anyway, I've designed them to where they are basically non-adjustable. A lot of guys' arms run heim joints and on the top or bottom or both, and I'm not a huge fan of heims. These have 1 5/8, not 1 5/8, sorry, 5/8 ID spherical bearings or misalignment bearings, and then we have bushings that basically bush it down to, or reduce it down to either 12 millimeter, 10 millimeter, or I'm actually running 12 millimeter on the inside, and I've upsized these to 1/2 inch because the Super ATV hardware they send with these portals is junk. Very few miles, and I pulled the bolt to check it, and it was already had a huge flat spot on the bolt, just low grade steel from China. But anyway, we can make them fit whatever hardware you've got, 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 1/2 inch, whatever. But anyway, they're high clearance, solid billet. Like I said, these are kind of a prototype. I'm going to make a few changes to them. Super impressed with how they performed. Like I said, the misalignment bearings on both ends, no heims. If you do want a heim, I can put a heim in the top one for adjustment. Sometimes, as long as you're running stock suspension and not in portals, and you don't have some kind of crazy lift kit that throws your camber off, as long as the geometry is the same. But we can add a heim to the top one, no problem, if you want an adjustment. But it's one of those things. I like things simple, and I think that's simple. You just bolt it up and go, and if the joint wears out, we can send you a new joint. They're about 10 bucks a piece, $10, $12 a piece. You replace the joint and you're good to go. But just like anything in this sport, over time it's gonna wear out. And I mean, like I said, keep it simple, fix the issues that come and roll on. But we run really high quality joints. These joints are rated for like 33,000 pounds of lateral force. So they're super strong, oversized, and then we reduce down with bushings instead of running a smaller joint like some people do. Try to get as big of a joint as we can. We basically just making them work. I don't want to, skimp on strength. I want everything to be super strong and last a long time. But anyways, that's the radius rods. I'm going to be making several sets here pretty soon. Right now we're limited just to the XP Turbo XP1000. My machine is very close to maxing out on these lengthwise. The Turbo S, I'm afraid they're going to be a little bit long. We will attempt and see if it works, but hopefully in the near future we will have a little bit bigger machine. If anybody's got a used VF3, VF4 that they want to get rid of, hit me up. It would look good against that wall over there or back there, whatever. That way I can make some longer parts and some bigger parts. But anyway, we got a lot of cool plans. Ignore this because I had a guy supposed to buy that, my Snap-on toolbox, and he basically waited 30 minutes before he was supposed to come, and he messaged me and said that he was backing out. Talked to the guy on the phone. He was super into it. I knew better. Spent about 2 hours getting all my tools out. They're scattered on my workbench now, and I have an empty toolbox. So if anybody's interested in a 72-inch Master Series snap-on box, gloss black with red trim, right on line top, hit me up, make you a hell of a deal. Asking $5,500 for it. It's about a $14,000 box new. It's about I'd say it's about a year old, less than a year old, probably 10 months old. Not a scratch on it. Super good shape. That is pretty much it. I just want to say thanks for watching. I know it's been a while. Let me mount this camera back up on here, and we'll finish up this video. All right, guys. I just want to say thanks for watching. I know it's been a while. Trying to stick with this time. I know I've said this the last 3 videos, but I'm gonna try to put some content out. It takes a lot of time. People understand. I still work full time during the day. Come home, do this at night. It's kind of my hobby / small business side job. Hope to one day do this full time. That's my goal. So, you know, tag along, like, subscribe, comment what you guys want to see. If you want to see, you know, anything you've seen in the shop you want me to review, kind of go over, talk about, you know, I'll try to do my best and make a video on it. Like I said, we got a lot of cool projects coming. I'm going to do some machining videos. I'm going to do some CNC plasma videos, some powder coat videos, some fabrication videos. Got a couple roll cages. I haven't done many roll cages this summer. Been busy with machining. I've got a couple buddies, the guys that I know that are wanting roll cages built. Got a couple roll cages. For you Honda Talon fans, I've got a Honda Talon coming. Going to be making a set of radius rods for it. Going to have some Honda Talon radius rods coming. Some other parts for Honda Talon. We got a lot of ideas. If you guys have any ideas, any parts you need made, hit me up. My business is Harris Metalworks. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I've also got an Instagram. It's HMW Machining, Harris Metalworks Machining. Trying to keep the machining its own thing. I kind of blend them, but basically make it complicated. Too many damn social medias. But anyways, Harris Metalworks on Facebook, Harris Metalworks on Instagram. Hit me up, send me a message. I'll be glad to make parts for you. We can do anything: aluminum, steel, stainless. We'll make it happen, or try to, anyways. Again, just want to say thanks. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you want to see. We'll make it happen. Y'all have a good one. See you.